What is up, everybody? Welcome to Dream Warriors podcast, the 31 Days of Dread. It's a little annual thing we do where it's one horror movie a day, and this is day 7, Chopping Mall. So, look, get that popcorn, or I don't know, grab a granola bar. I really don't care. It's a movie I pulled out of Amazon Prime, so you can watch it. And who doesn't have Prime anymore, right? I mean, I think we all do. Look, I'll be right back, and we're gonna jump into it. Hey, thank you for sticking with me through that intro. And look, let's just be honest. It's a short intro. It's not gonna kill you. I'm Peter, aka Pat, another known as Peter A. DeLuca, aka Pat13 on Instagram, aka Pat on the Twitter, and the Snapchat, aka Pat.com on the World Wide Web. Uh, aka Pat13 also on Facebook. You can find my business page. But look, we're not here talking about self promotion. We're here to talk about horror movies, and I have to tell you, there's a level of excitement I have for this Chopping Mall movie. It's 1986. It's defined as a science fiction comedy horror. This is more of a robot slasher movie than comedy or horror, but no, it's definitely horrific. You do root for the characters. You really don't want them to die, but you know that's going to happen because we have a combination of what makes 80s like middle budget, low budget movies or independent movies sing. That this is definitely a movie of the VHS era, and I think it's a great thing that it's just available. It's just sitting there on Amazon Prime, and it's again it'll probably never be recommended. It'll never hit like the front page or like any of those little promo things. This movie through and through is dated, screams 80s. I'm doubting how many like if they were to remake this movie, how many kids today would even know like what a shopping mall was or what shopping mall culture was for like almost like two solid generations of American youth, and why having a horror movie set in a shopping mall is gold. But yeah, so I kind of went through the wiki a little bit of this movie, and like maybe I should have researched it a little bit more. But I was just so excited. I just got done, literally just got done watching it. I just wanted to sit down and do a little brain dump. Because and I did take a couple notes, and I just wanted to go through them with you for day 7 of the 31 Days of Dread Dream Warriors podcast. And I usually kind of go into a movie with a little bit of a story or like an anecdote or a build into it, but not going to do so much of that for this segment. But I will say, Dream Warriors Day 5 was Venom, and if you haven't been keeping track, Venom has completely taken over the box office. It's roughly a $100 million movie. It's already brought in 80 million domestic and 200 plus worldwide. And bravo, clap to Sony, Tom Hardy, the entire crew, everyone involved with Venom. We will get our Venom sequel, Venom and Carnage. I, and I could not be more excited. I think I got Carnage's name wrong. I think I called him Clayton Crane. Um, uh, and look, I'm looking up Carnage Marvel. What is his alter ego? His alter ego is Cletus Cassidy. Oh my god, I'm way off. Cletus Cassidy. That's who Carnage is, not Clayton Crane. Clayton Crane is a hell of a talented comic book artist and mostly cover artist nowadays. But yeah, kind of. And I had a little bit of an interaction with him. I tried to convince him one time to let me do his website, and he's not very good with the emails and messaging and that sort of thing. But he did get a free layout, HTML layout that was live at one point from me. I don't believe it was for ClaytonCrane.com. But anyway, let's can we please get back to Chopping Mall, because you know that's why we're here. But look, okay, this movie's made in 1986, and according to Wikipedia, the guys that made this movie met at a EC horror comic book convention. So the EC comics are still legendary. This is where we get the Vault of Horror, more notably Tales from the Crypt. There was a third book, Eerie, I believe. They were all a part of this run where it was just very like exploitative comics for kids that pushed the need for what later became the Comic Code. And the Comic Code was this self-regulation that the comic book industry put on itself to avoid government regulation, because they knew the government was going to come knocking on their door. And they and we've seen similar things with the NFL with their concussion, it's called like Heads Up, and their concussion protocols. These companies will pivot to stay away from the government, and some companies pivot towards it. Mostly these social media giants pivot towards government because they they want to maintain a form of control and expansion. So it does work for some industries, and that really doesn't get talked about a lot. But Cletus Cassidy, I should have known that. That pisses me off. So these two cats, these two crazy cats, Jim Wazorski and Steve Mitchell, writer directors. They just had the idea of of a shopping mall, like horror movie. Someone had the idea for like robots, and this is so unique because it literally is a robot slasher kill movie where the robots are on treads and they don't look threatening at all. And it's like everyone involved doing the best. I think the acting's solid for this type of movie. I think the bodies are great, because there's definitely a lot of boobies in this. So here's the plot. A company develops security robots. They get implemented in the mall. A couple kids party. They party at this dude's store. This kid, the nerdy kid, his father owns the Furniture King. They start the party at the Furniture King. We immediately see boobies when this starts happening. And look, shout out, they're drinking PBR and Budweiser, holla. And so terror ensues at this point. The deaths in this movie, they don't shy away from. Like, there's literally one girl that gets burned to death in this movie. And technically it's a teenager. They're kids. Horrific. So this movie knew what it was from the very start, which is and before I sat down, like I said, I went through the Wikipedia, and it's nice to see true intent come through on a feature like this. Meaning that, like, I'm sitting down, I'm watching the movie, and where it's going. You kind of can already pick out who the survivors are going to be. So there's anticipation of like who's going to die, how they're going to die. But there's this intent when it comes to the film where it's self-aware. It knows what it is. It's not trying to be anything more and or less. These are guys that just wanted to do a movie. They had an opportunity. They got it done. They hired everything they needed to, fabricated the robots, found a location. And it's nice to see that there's like this EC Comics connection to this movie, because again, like that's what made EC Comics so powerful. They knew exactly what they were. They knew who their audience was, and they sold it to them. This movie, if I sold this movie when I was younger, I would be watching it a couple times a week, just out of the blood and the boobies alone. And who knows, like the robot design and the robot look, which again is strictly 80s, may have impacted me differently in my youth if I saw this movie as an early teenager versus now. So uh, there's a lot of merit and truth uh, to that take, like on this movie, and for me, that is where Chopping Mall resonates. Now, whenever I go through like some of these movies on Wikipedia, and look, we always start with Wikipedia, and there is no reason to even knock it. Wikipedia is an amazingly valuable resource. I Towards the bottom, it kind of has like production updates if the movie's been remade or featured, or even like seen in other media, like if it was if someone's watching it on TV in like a different movie, like if Stranger Things, this one, if one of the kids ever was watching Chopping Mall, like it's usually cited and listed under media. But like I'm so interested in seeing where some of these movies are going. And I really thought I would see like a remake, or just something that was off my radar that I wasn't aware of. But the only, like update it had was like 2011. Some production company was going to remake the movie with a supernatural twist. And I believe that would have been wrong, because this has got to continue to be a robot movie. I mean, you could update this movie now with drones, and it would be freaking cool. But the design of the drones would have to be like 80s esque. There would have to be 80s elements. Definitely some type of like visor would have to be visible on the drones. Okay, like, and they would have to be like front facing kind of drones, meaning that like line of sight. Because drones today have like 360 vision, but no. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but to me, it's surprising that this concept has not been duplicated, or there's no sequels for this movie. There's no remakes. Chopping Mall strictly exists in 1986 now, and it's somewhat of a relic. And I think it's fantastic for that. I mean, no one destroyed this movie. No one took away its gust, and there's a lot of love in this movie. Like, no one took that away. This movie has survived all of these things that gave us endless puppet masters and Chuckies and Leprechauns and Fridays and Nightmares, and it goes on and on. No, Chopping Mall could have got 100 sequels. I think it should have. It didn't. It should have got a remake. It never did. So here we are, and this is one of those few movies where I would say just let it be, let it sit, because I think the fashion, the hair, the attitude, these characters are just smoking. The first death is a guy that goes out to buy Virginia like Slims, which is actually the same cigarette my mother smokes. Uh, like, it's a sign of the time. And one thing that stood out, because this movie is gratuitous in the beginning with the with, with the nudity. We're focused on the girl's butt, and it's Playboy underwear. Like, the Playboy bunny is embroidered on the girl's bikini bottoms, or bikini like underwear bottoms. And so now I'm thinking, like, wow, was Playboy's branding that deep even in 1986? I don't know. Um, it makes you think. It makes you think about, like, it kind of makes you a little upset for like what we would call right now the fall of Playboy, because this Playboy has fallen out of relevancy, and the products just don't even resonate anymore. So there's a lot to this. There's also a scene at the end where the woman's walking through like a storage room, and there's like a GI Joe Firefly box just sitting in this random storage room in this shopping mall. I thought that was funny. The movie does have a great bit. one of the girls hides underneath shelving in a pet store, and the robot just like because these robots are on treads. There's nothing sleek about them. They're just stumbling and bumbling. And this robot is navigating through this pet store, and it knocks over uh, snakes and spiders, and they start crawling all over the girl. And like that's a little bit, that's like a little bit scary. Like I was like, oh my god, like because I would probably freak out if that happened, because I hate both of those things. But no, and like it's good. It's a good bit, and the movie kind of like resonates on some of that. A lot of 80 mall movies and mall moments. Like even going up to True Lies, even though like True Lies had a hotel, but True Lies, like Wolf of Wall Street, um, Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm probably forgetting a couple here and there, but kind of obsessed with see-through elevators, like glass exposed elevators. This movie definitely has a scene with one of those. But it's interesting to see, like what they did in 1986 kind of echoes throughout all these other movies, because there's just something about being in like on the rail in the tube, being seen and shooting up. There's something about that visual that people love. But no, uh, like so I gotta get to it. So like how would I recommend this movie? How would I classify it? Uh, okay, so it's a teenage robot slasher movie where everyone's trapped in the mall and they're being stalked by these robots. So it's a mall robot stalker movie, or mall robot slasher movie. There we go. That's how we define it. It's a trapped in the mall robot slasher teen comedy movie, but I don't think it's much of a comedy. Maybe I would have to rewatch it, but I really don't agree with that. So throughout watching this movie too, this is a movie to drink to. This is a hell of a drinking game movie. There's so many like you can get into like a real drunk spiel. I mean, blackout drunk, potentially even brown out drunk. To this movie, this is a wonderful drinking game movie, and it's good to discover these from time to time, because usually like the ones everyone gravitate towards, like we've all seen those movies, those good drinking game movies. This is definitely one of them. I mean, you could maybe take a shot every time. Even like the robots, there's two of them, attack someone. I mean, like you still get lit up just on that alone, because like there is a lot of robot. I think for 1986, there's a good amount of low budget robot action that I think it still holds up, and it's funny. It's funny how these robots go about themselves. But no, this movie is a huge recommendation. I really would like to do a deep dive on where is this movie, like like has it resonated. I'm not even familiar with DVD releases or re-releases, but it is just amazing that it's just sitting there on Prime waiting to be rediscovered. And anyone out there, if you're looking for like schlock, if you're looking for like a B monster movie, which this movie pays lots of homage to, pays a ton of homage to the drive-in monster gimmicky movies that came before it. And that's what I mean by it being self-aware. It knows exactly what it is, and because of that, it's better than most movies. I'm sorry. I know that's a baseline a lot of people have trouble gripping with, have trouble like wrapping their heads around, because it's a complex thought. I'm sorry, people. We get a little deep here sometimes, but if you're looking for something from the 80s that few people are even discussing right now, this movie is it. So check it out. Check out Chopping Mall, and do me a favor: subscribe, support, comment, show this to your friends. Help me out here. Help me grow the Dream Warriors universe, because we're all in this together, and let's dream together. Let's go, team. Everyone, have a great night. Have a great morning. Oh, I can't sign out before I do my drink check-in. Yeah, I'm drinking Mountain Dew Ultra Kickstarter. So it's a Mountain Dew flavored Kickstarter energy drink with zero sugar. So bravo. That's what I'm drinking right now. I'm gonna take a sip of this. Ugh. All right, everyone, rock and roll. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it's a morning recording. How are you? It's Dream Warriors podcast, 31 Days of Dread, Day 7. We have a gem pulled from the depths of Amazon Prime, and it's called Shopping Mall. So you know the drill right now. You hear the scary sounds. The music's already cued in. I'll be right with you to talk about this movie. I'm excited. It's Dream Warriors, 31 Days of Dread. Thank you for joining us. It's day 7, and we got a gem off out of the. Hello, everyone. This is Dream Warriors podcast, and this is the 31 Days of Dread, day 7. I have a good movie. I have an awesome movie. You can watch it. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. I went into the depths of Amazon Prime to pull out this gem, and it is a gem. So you know what's happening. You hear the scary sounds. We got the music already queued up. I'm going to be right back after we get a little bit of that. There's Dream Warrior lyrics. Hello, everyone. This is Dream Warriors podcast, and you're joining me, for the 31 Days of Dread, Day 7, Shopping Mall. It's a movie I pulled out of the depths, the deep burrows, the deep tunneling of Amazon Prime. And I really want to talk about this movie because it's another forgotten gem. So let's rock and roll. Let's get to it.